Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Old Truth Ministries podcast. Today's message is titled, We Are Failing Our Children, and it is straightforward and to the point. I have to tell you that I have never sugarcoated anything, and this is one of those messages. It may hurt some feelings, but I am totally okay with that. Now, if your feelings don't get hurt and you make it through the message, please stay tuned directly after for an important announcement. So now grab that coffee and get ready for today's message. Hello and welcome back. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush, and I'm going to get straight to the point. We are failing our children, spiritually. We have been for generations or more, and it's only getting worse. It started when we took God out of schools, or maybe before that. Now, the powers that be want to take God out of the country. Kids are being taught that there are an infinite number of genders, and that people's gender is whatever they decide it is. They see it every day, in school, on TV, in magazines. They are constantly bombarded from every possible angle. They are taught that being gay is cool and acceptable. Heck, it's the in thing to be. The Catholic Church is even endorsing it now, but that is a subject for another time. The list goes on and on. But what is missing in all of this? Can you guess it? I'll help you out. God, Christ, and the church. And now at Christmas time, kids are taught more about Santa than the Christ in Christmas. They are more concerned with what gifts they will be getting from Santa or mom and dad or whoever than they are of the true meaning of the day. Long gone are the days of nativity scenes in the front yard of houses on every block. They have been replaced by blow-up Santas and Grinches and whatever else corporations can make money off of. We're teaching kids to be greedy rather than thankful, jolly rather than joyous for the birth of our Savior. But wait, how could this have happened? Who could have let this happen? Well, we as parents let this happen. We started being friends rather than parents, buddies instead of role models. We started accepting rather than correcting. We became worldly instead of godly. We say profane words in the house, watch profane things on TV, listen to profane music in the car on the way to school. Then we wonder why they are the way they are. We allow the schools, TV shows, and video games to raise them, and then wonder why they do the things they do. Some of you who are older, like myself, may remember a time when it wasn't like this. A time when there were no school shootings, when teen girls weren't getting pregnant or having an abortion at an alarming rate. A time when there were only two genders. Do you know what was different back then? Families went to church. Families actually had dinner at the dinner table with the TV off and talked about their days. Parents were aware what their kids watched on TV back then, but you really didn't have to worry about that too much because TV shows were very different back then. And to many people's horror, there were no video games, no Snapchat, no Facebook, no YouTube, and no cell phones. Kids actually interacted with each other and their parents. The highlight of the week was going to Sunday school. Man, it was different times back then. Today, parents are afraid to discipline their children because society says it is bad. Worse than that, some parents just think it's easier to let them do whatever so they don't have to deal with it. We don't make them go to church because there is so much other important stuff and not enough time in the week. Heck, many parents don't even go to church themselves, either because they're too lazy or the church as a whole has gotten off message or is viewed as only catering to the people who can fill their coffers the most. Now, hopefully after listening to this, you ask yourself, what can I do to change this trajectory our kids are on? Well, It's actually not too late. The first place you start is by finding a church home. They're not all bad. Find a church that teaches the Word and not tradition. Find a church that is about the gospel and not the spotlight. Find a church that is not afraid to ruffle a few feathers. There's still some out there. After you find a good church home, start standing up for your beliefs and what you know is right and godly. Stand firm and don't back down. Society may shun you, you may lose friends, but none of that will matter when you're standing before God answering for all you did in life. After you begin standing up for your beliefs, become more involved in your children's lives. Be aware what they are learning in school. Know what shows they are watching, what games they are playing, what they're doing online. It might actually surprise you. Then, hold them accountable. It's okay to be a parent, I promise. You might actually like the adults they become because you are a parent and not a friend. The final thing is to hold yourself accountable. Don't miss church because you want to sleep in. Stop using profane language in front of the kids. And if something comes on TV that is not acceptable, turn it off. Yes, even if they whine and complain, they will live, I promise. Most importantly, be the adult that you hope your kids grow up to be. If enough of us parents do these few little things and do them consistently, you might be surprised. We might actually change the world. Thank you for hanging out after the podcast for this important announcement. As with any ministry, hopefully, it begins to progress and grow. Well, it is that time for Old Truth Ministries. With that being said, this will be our last podcast of 2021 as we begin working on the next stage of this ministry. On January 2nd, we will be premiering the video cast of Old Truth Ministry on YouTube. Also on that day, we will premiere the new podcast format, which will be the audio version of the video cast. Now, some things will be different, but it is all to further the kingdom, I assure you. Many churches shy away from certain subjects because they are too controversial and not politically correct. I assure you, we are not that kind of church or that kind of ministry. Here at Old Truth Ministries, I do not care about attendance numbers or likes or how much money I can get you to give. All I care about is getting God's message out, and God will take care of making sure the people who need to hear it find it. The messages may not be politically correct, they may be controversial, and yes, they may offend, but I can promise you they will always be 100% biblical and the old truth, not the new politically correct version of it. So until then, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to be kept up to date. And until we meet again on January 2nd, may God keep you and protect you, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.